Left to our own devices, we don't always make the right decision about what to do in life, which is why we have a guidebook that we value and cherish. Oh, so very highly. It is the greatest thing that we as a people possess. It's called the Torah. The purpose of life is found in the pages of the Torah, and specifically in this week's Torah portion, it is alluded to. It can be found in Judah's question to his brothers after they threw poor Joseph into the dank, dark pit. Here's what the Torah says about that episode. Then Judah said to his brothers, "What profit will we gain if we kill our brother and cover up his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites and not lay a hand on him, for he is our brother, our own flesh." And they agreed. So when the Midianite travelers passed by, his brothers pulled Joseph out of the pit and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelites, who took him to Egypt. While many may be tempted to credit Judah with saving Joseph's life, we cannot ignore the fact that he was the one who sold Joseph as a slave for the purpose of lining him and his brother's pockets with silver. Who would do such a thing? While we learn later on that Judah felt great remorse and repented for his actions, at this very moment he was thinking only of himself, not of the other. He was thinking only how he could better his position in life by betraying his brother, because what matters most is Judah. That is his primary concern. In fact, that is his only concern right now. Most of us, if not all of us, have been or are involved in some kind of business. That meant interacting with people, buying, selling, trading, bartering, arguing. It's interesting that when we make a really good deal on the market, we call it making a killing. Kind of appropriate words, especially considering the parsha that we're reading this week about Joseph. How have we behaved when we act like Judah in this week's Torah portion, making a killing at our brother's expense? So many things are going on right now. The holiday of Hanukkah is with us, and we celebrate by lighting spindly candles, putting them on a shelf, showing the world the miraculousness of this day, of this event, and yet at the same time, knowing full well that it's not about presents, it's not about making a killing, it's not about how much we aggregate to ourselves, but it's all about how we conduct our lives with integrity, how we conduct our lives with a God-given mandate, that thing that we call the Torah, as our guide throughout life. The Talmud has several great tractates finally detailing what is appropriate profit, what's usury, and what is simply wrong. While societal pressures us to push to make as much money from the poor schlemiel who knows no better, God watches and assesses our character when we take advantage of someone who knows less than us, less fortunate than us, more needy than we are. That, simply put, is a sin. It took many years before Judah understood the full ramifications of his bad judgment. So I ask you to join me on this Hanukkah in reassessing the way that we align our ethics with our livelihood. One walks in hand with the other, for if they are separate parties, then we are not living our mandate of Torah Jews. Now's a good time during this festival of Hanukkah, as we trade smiles, we trade lights, we trade love, to also assess how we conduct ourselves day to day, how we treat our brothers and sisters with integrity or taking advantage of them. I wish you a good Shabbos and Chanukah Sameach.